Hey, this is a pretty big deal. Former Attorney General Eric Holder is now predicting that Donald Trump and his top administration officials will be indicted. Newsweek writes, former Attorney General Eric Holder predicted Friday that Trump, as well as other top officials from the former president's administration, will be indicted by the U.S. government over the events of January 6, 2021, and their efforts to change the 2020 results. In early May, Holder told CBS News he believed Trump's actions related to January 6 merit an indictment. Hundreds of Trump supporters attacked the U.S. Capitol that day after the then president told them to walk to the federal legislative building and fight like hell to save their country. Those directions came after Trump claimed for months that Biden's victory was fraudulent while pressuring officials across the country to overturn the win. On Friday, in an interview on HBO's Real Time with Bill Maher, Holder reiterated his view that Trump should face indictment. Let's take a look at this video of Eric Holder explaining this here to Bill Maher on his show Friday.
If you were still the Attorney General about Trump and January 6th.
Well, I'll tell you, if you'd asked me that question about a year or so ago, I would have said I would have been awfully concerned about the divisive nature of bringing a case against a former president. But now, because of what we know, what great journalists have done, the leaks that have come from the January 6th committee, if you show me that Donald Trump was involved in the efforts to, in essence, foment a coup, and you can show the requisite intent, he has to be indicted.
And what would that entail after you indict him?
After you indict him, well, he would then, you take him to trial just like anybody else. I think, you can look at what Merrick Garland is going to do. I think my first analysis would be what's going to happen to him in Georgia.
Right.
You've got him on tape saying, find me 11,780 votes. That
True.
one is close to a layup, it seems to me.
Right. I've always said the same thing about that one. Why don't they just go after that one moment? It's on tape. You have the smoking gun. He's saying, I remember when Rod Blagojevich was on tape.
Right.
Basically,
that didn't work out too well for him.
No, I know, but it was pretty blatant. But it wasn't as bad as find me 11,000 votes.
Yeah. No, I think, as I said, I think that's close to a layup. The DA down there is going to be calling witnesses, I understand, before a special grand jury. But the interesting thing there is that can also be a specification in a federal charge that could be brought in Washington, D.C., when you're charging him with conspiracy to defraud and conspiracy to obstruct. What happened in Georgia can actually be part of a federal case as well. So I think, I was a federal prosecutor doing political corruption cases when I first came to the Justice Department for 12 years, and you get a feel for these things after a while. I get the feeling that I can see where this one is going, and a lot of high-level people in the Trump administration, I suspect the president himself, people at the Justice Department are all going to find themselves on a little document that says the United States versus fill in the blank.
So there is the prediction, and the hope would be that the Department of Justice will view the upcoming January 6th hearings, which start later this week, as a way to say, well, now we see it all in detail. And while the main purpose of the January 6th committee is not criminal investigation, if they uncover, we've talked about this before, if they uncover criminal activity, they refer to the Justice Department to look at it. And what Eric Holder is saying is how could they come to any other conclusion? Now, there are some who will say the hearings are sort of embarrassing enough that you don't need to indict. That's like the prototypical Susan Collins thing. Republican Senator Susan Collins loves to say, well, I was very disappointed that they incited the riotous insurrection, but the hearings were embarrassing enough to them, and that's enough punishment. We don't need to make this a political show trial. I'm sure they would never do it again. They've learned their lesson. That's the Susan Collins approach. You'll probably hear that from some in the coming weeks after we see what the January 6th committee has, which will be fascinating to see. We'll have these clips on our Instagram, which you can find at David Pakman Show. One of our sponsors is Crush Organics. These guys are awesome. They support the show. They have an excellent collection of premium grade organic CBD products. Crush Organics has your oils, your topical creams, gummies. They even have these great experience gift boxes, which are great for sending to someone. This is the one I received, really beautifully packaged. Crush has a daytime CBD blend in peppermint. as well as a nighttime blend. Lots of people report CBD being helpful for sleep. Crush's CBD topical cream can be used on joints and muscles. Definitely try the gummies too. Those are great. Some people prefer the gummies over the oils. Crush Organics care a lot about quality, so you can feel good about getting your CBD from them. They're always dropping new products. Pay attention to the site. And Crush Organics are fans of the David Pakman Show, just like you, I hope. So they're giving you a massive discount, 40% off all products. Go to crushorganics.us and use the code PAKMAN to save 40%. The link is down below.